There was this hilarious story that came out. OpenAI has a code red right now. Code red because of Gemini 3. Gun to my head, could not tell you what the real difference is with Gemini 3 and ChatGPT. No one can. I've talked to numerous experts. It's like, yeah, they're better at benchmarks. Cool. But when you looked at the story from the information about the code red, OpenAI's plan was they were going to put ads on hold because they've been flirting with the idea, and I can get into ads, it's not going to work. But nevertheless, they put ads on hold, and their plan was simple. They're going to improve the responses from ChatGPT. They're going to make ChatGPT do more, and they're going to find ways to make people like ChatGPT more. To which I ask, what the hell have you been doing the last year? What have you been up to? Because that's the thing. I think these AI companies are sitting there spinning their wheels, burning cash, trying to work out something, maybe, that might make more money than it loses. And they're all failing. Microsoft can't sell AI software. I mean, Oracle right now is the only company I think that might actually be, other than OpenAI, that actually has an existential risk here, because they're taking on $58 billion worth of debt, $18 billion of bonds, $38 billion of debt with Vantage, to build data centers just for OpenAI. This whole thing is just, it's farcical.
Okay, so my
race with China means nothing.
So my final question for you then, as you a self-described AI hater, are you rooting for the AI bubble to pop? And for those who fear both job losses and all the Terminator, Skynet scenarios that have sort of been thrown out there, should they be rooting for the bubble to burst? I guess what I'm asking is there a silver lining here if the machine comes crashing down? Should we actually want the bubble to burst as quickly as possible, because the longer it's blowing up, the worse it's going to be? Like, where are you on, like, what should we be hoping for?
I want it to burst as soon as possible, because the sooner it bursts, the sooner we can get back to doing something else. I also think this era has proven there are a bunch of journalists, bunch of analysts, and bunch of companies run by people that just lie, or people that don't know stuff. I think that's good for us to know. I think we've now revealed who is really excited to fire everyone. And I think we've also revealed that the smartest people working on stuff are actually pretty stupid. But more importantly, the end of this era is going to lead to a massive revaluation of tech stocks that we desperately need. Right now, the tech industry is fueled by growth, run by management consultants. We need to get, I don't know if there was ever a good time in the tech industry, but there was a better time than this. We've lost the chance to break up Google at this point, but we need these companies to take a haircut. We need these companies to stop doing what they're doing right now and burning capex. We need to see someone like Satya Nadella fired. We need punishments for these people so that we enter the next era, which is going to be a bit rough. Because I think we're going to see a lot of layoffs in the tech industry as they realize there is no hypergrowth market. There is no next smartphone or cloud computing, or if there is, it ain't large language models. All of these companies have committed to these hundreds of billions of GPUs at this point. Those GPUs are going to take an impairment at some point. They're going to be worth less in a few years, and they're going to have to mark them down. It's going to be a hit to earnings. All of these things have to happen so that we can move on to the next era, which is ideally going to be moving away from this growth focus or having smaller tech firms. Because the current state of the Magnificent Seven is untenable, and the current state of the tech industry is obsessed with growing things as big as possible and selling them to people. But the hubris of the last few years has been, what if nobody's buying, and what if we're not actually building anything worth anything? I think the current state of the tech industry needs to change, and we need a violent shock to do so, economically speaking, because allowing them to do what they want has led us here.
Ed Zitron is a journalist, host of the Better Offline podcast, and author of the forthcoming book, Why Everything Stopped Working. That's coming out in 2026. Ed Zitron, thank you so much for taking time with us. Thank you for all of your reporting and your writing, which I read voraciously. Thank you for continuing to try to hold the tech industry accountable.
Thanks so much for having me.